So more Project T1ing. Apart from this, obviously, it's not a T1 because the T1 is over there. We'll see we have taken the test engine out of the T1.
Yes.
So this is the Sprinter engine that was in a Sprinter, but it is now no longer.
Well, it was in the Sprinter last night before I went home.
It was. I got very keen and it is now sat here.
Yes.
So this is what we're going for. We've had a bit of a gearbox change. I've got to run it past Matey because he's coming in tomorrow. My problem, I think I have, that's the 310 5-speed gearbox. Yep.
Yep.
With a big wobbly stick on the top. Apart from it doesn't quite sit in the right place now. But the linkage is fine. I could get around that.
Yep.
I don't think these Sprinters have got a flywheel with pointers on them. And I don't think, I'm going to try it in a minute, to get whether that gearbox will bolt to the back of that engine with the dual mass flywheel on it, which has got the crank pointers on it.
Okay.
So my brain had gone to, the problem with a T1 is that you've got a long waggly gear stick poking up through the floor, whereas this, which is a nicer gearbox, is the latest Sprinter one, is cable operated. So thus then you've got a gear remote, which is bolted to the dashboard in a Sprinter, but you couldn't bolt the dashboard in a T1 because there's a doghouse in the way that covers the engine, and it would be in completely the wrong place. So whilst in bed the other night, thinking of exciting things like I do, I came up with a solution. So, in an Arveco is one of these, which is a floor-mounted, cable-operated gear selector. So, this vehicle does have a pass-through for allowing you to walk into the cab, but at current you're still falling over a T1 gear lever poking out of the floor. So what I reckon, I'm going to ask Matey when he comes tomorrow, see what he thinks. I mean, I'd rather have this later gearbox then. I've got a speed sensor for the computer.
Yep.
It is all basically then standard Sprinter. Well, I've worked the ratios out. And everything works jubbly. And we don't have to have the waving a carrot in a well T1 gearbox with the horrible linkage. We could have Iveco Sprinter.
Yeah. So
I can put the Sprinter remote in here, mount this on the floor, buy a seat, it's 5 speeds of broom and a reverse. So what I also needed to check is now that obviously we'll see we are completely without a vehicle, that still works. So down here I have this massive bird's nest of wiring. The only bit that I've got at the moment that's playing me up is the heat start module.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure if I do all the, hang on, I've got bits of wire going everywhere.
Oh dear.
I need to go in sequence, otherwise nothing works. So that's a squawky noise, which is good. I think that's the squawky heat plug module. And let's go and check that everything's obviously gone off on the dashboard over here. Yeah. We are revving at 1,000 revs. We've run out of fuel.
Oh, bugger.
Bugger. That's because the fuel tank. Oh, the engine's heat plug warning light's gone out, so it was heat plug changing, but we haven't got any fault codes. We are lacking in a boost controller at the moment because it's sat here, so that's next on my list. Plug up.
Yeah.
And if you rev that throttle pedal, it should rev.
Ooh.
Give it the ravages.
Nice.
So in theory now it's got coolant in the block, so we're not panicky on it running for too long. It'll be fine for a minute.
Yeah.
So what I've got to do now, I think I've got a radiator idea, and I need to work out my boost system for this. Yeah. And then I've got to get this speed sensor from the gearbox to talk to the computer so it knows it's moving, so that takes the torque limiter out the ECU. Otherwise, I have to have the torque limiter removed from the ECU. But that is a CR2 611 CDI sat running on a pallet. No Sprinter.
No Sprinter.
No Sprinter. Give her the final revvy, fudge. Everyone telling me off for being obsessed. Whoop, whoop, whoop!
quite stable as well, isn't it? I was expecting it to be all fucking...
No, it's got lovely... Basically, it's running completely with its original CDI.
Yeah.
As far as it's concerned, apart from it's ran out of fuel, it hasn't got speed signal, and someone's stolen its boost actuator.
Yeah.
It is plumbed in a van. Oh, and the radiator's empty apparently because it's telling me about that on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Rubbish. We've got a coolant leak.
Oh.
Right, I'm going to turn this off.
Yeah.
And then try and gingerly work through the rest of those problems to make those work before we go hell for leather in there.
Yeah.
Broom!
Broom shakalaka.
Broom shakalaka. And the nice man from Parcel Force has just delivered us a tyre. That's why I was waving. I haven't completely lost. But how's your 20 mile long microphone doing?
It's okay.
I managed to get some new ones because they've all died, but I couldn't get any without. So you can actually leave the unit over there.
Yeah.
Micro. I don't quite know. Perhaps people in China aren't really tall. Yeah, but they're like 12'4". Don't quite understand that idea.
Yeah.
Right. Right. You'll have to excuse the noise, but after more technical wizardry, I've got me boost regulator plumbed in. Yeah. I got 310 radiator cooling it, which will fit in that. Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Managed to make the hoses up. I have temporarily got a Sprinter intercooler sat in there, but I have a feeling that will fit behind the grill. Yeah. I have the boost pressure sensor and the manifold air intake temperature sensor from a Sprinter installed just there. Might need to go find a radiator cap in a minute. Because hang on, let me go and see if I can locate the radiator cap before it blows all its coolant out all over the floor. Because it's over here.
Aha.
So yeah, vacuum to the turbo boost, which will fit onto that.
Yeah.
And one of the YouTube subscribers suggested last week that if I haven't got ABS, it's very possible that the torque limiter is triggered on and off by the clutch pedal switch.
Oh.
He is right. It is. So I have located the torque. At the moment, it thinks we've continuously got our foot on the clutch, but we're not worrying about that.
Yeah.
So if I get hold of my favourite throttle pedal, it's ticking over at £1,000 at the moment. So that revs cleanly to 4.5.
Yeah.
5. I ain't going to pin it too hard because it's strapped to a pallet with a ratchet strap.
Yeah.
Which is boosting, cooling. Definitely boosting.
That's definitely boosting.
That made you jump, didn't it?
That made me shit.
That made you shit yourself. I'll do that up a bit tighter.
Poor old Raymond. You're all right there, Ray. You're all right. You're not giving a fucking answer. That made me jump, right? So that made me jump. Boy, Christ, I nearly shut. Yeah, it's just when it's under boost there. Obviously we'll put new clamps and stuff on it, but for test purposes. Oh, the engine, yeah, engine, perfect.
Circulating coolant.
Lovely.
It's got a bit smoky in here, isn't it? Right, she's sat pinned at 60 degrees. It's been sat there ticking over 45 minutes. By Joe Fudgy.
Yeah.
You hear the turbo variator working.
Yeah.
I've got no faults on the dash. It's even charging me battery up.
No way.
Yeah. Alternator's alive. By Jove, you know, I think we may possibly have got it.
I think so. It sounds nice.
Yeah, well, it's got no
sweet as a nut, isn't it?
Yeah, heat plug circuit's alive, figured that.
Yeah.
No. Oh, something must have happened because we've just acquired a full tank of fuel. And we've gone back down again.
Oh. Dodgy sender unit.
You must have touched something on this bench because that's in this lot here. Yeah, she's like, fuel, no fuel, fuel, no fuel. Well, yes, I'm tough with that.
Yeah.
Parfait.
Lovely.
So a bit more to basically want the structural chassis extension plates in there to make sure the engine mounts pick up on something that's solid. Tubes in the chassis. She's warm.
Yeah,
Heat pipes are warm.
she's warm at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, thermostat's still closed, but yeah, no, she's cool. Cool as a cucumber. Warm down the bottom.
Got boost.
Yeah, I was watching the old...
Yeah. So that's the turbo variator. So basically that's running the VVT. The boost controller is dangling off in a pile of stuff down here with its air chamber. That's the original Sprinter. You pick up, taken out. So that there's a boost pressure sensor in that and a manifold air intake temperature sensor, which we need. I think there's a possibility that will fit in there. But that gives me, because this will sit slightly back from where it was originally. That's a 310 radiator, so it's designed to cool a 295 cylinder. In theory, it should cool this quite nicely.
Yeah.
And then that's the original Sprinter intercooler that one of them we had floating around. And I think I can get that in the back of the grill.
Yeah.
I've also got enough room. I have the rad cowl. And then I should be able to put the rad cowl in behind this radiator. It's sat sort of about where it wants to be, which gives you high enough for fill.
Yeah.
It's no lower than the original Mercedes radiator, so it won't be starving itself because the pickup is there, look. Or the top rad hose goes in there.
Yeah.
So basically, that's the package. Bit of wiring tidying up, a few more tiny things to figure. I could get rid of some more wiring. There's a few ECU feeds that I might want. I've just got to sit there and work through the wiring diagram. But that is turnkey on a pallet, boosting, producing quite a lot of black smoke. It's a bit thick in here, but that's 130 plus horsepower.
Yeah.
5,000 RPM, 4755 flat out. I mean, that thing will not know what's hit it.
No, I mean, just from revving it up there, you can tell it's got some grunt behind it.
Well, the Sprinter, the reason I chose this wagon is I've known it from new. I know this engine is mint. So basically, this thing used 200 miles an hour. I've tried. So what I've got to do next is just go ratio checking. So I got the tags missing off the T1, and we'll see what diff that's got it in it against this gearbox, possibly compared to that gearbox. And if worse comes to worse and that diff is horrible ratio, Sprinter disc brake, rear axle. I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Then that gives us everything. It's the same stud pattern. It's whether 14-inch or 15-inch T1 wheels will fit over and what the offsets are going to be like. But we could always make it some bespoke Sprinter steels.
Yeah.
So it's on a 15-inch wheel, and then this thing, that camper van, is capable of 100 miles an hour if you're feeling really brave.
And capable of stopping too.
Well, then, yes, because this vehicle has discs on the front, drums on the rear. We could upgrade it to have discs on the rear. It's got the same inboard, the same type of handbrake pull. It's a single line coming back. So there's no reason why we couldn't put the whole back axle out of that.
Yeah.
In that, and then everything gear-wise matches. The only thing that we will obviously have to do is we have to abandon the long waggly gear lever, but I could, in theory, it's side to side and back and forth. If we were to keep the waggly gear lever, I could make a waggler to bolt to the floor.
Okay.
That was my other consideration, is whether we where is the unit? So this is the original. He said he can't get it out of here. So obviously that spolts on one of these, not on this gearbox, on that one, and pokes up through the floor.
Yeah.
but we're forwards and reverse and side to side motion. The only thing that's going to be technical is a gear lockout for reverse.
Oh, yeah.
That could be done with a spring push so that you know, because the Sprinter you have to pull a collar up, don't you, on the gear lever, so you go over. But like if you get in a early 2.9, you can wedge it in reverse if you really try hard. But you have to push, you know, when you feel the spring lift that tells you you're an idiot and you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
There is a possibility we could make a floor mount plate. So make something like that, sunk, so that is actually bolted to the floor of the vehicle. So we've got our two fields of movement. We need left and right, forwards and reverse to make these work. And we could actually come up with a nice, so then we could plop the original T1 lever on top. And then no one would know. No one will know.
No one will know. Well,
or
these guys will know.
These guys, yeah, after Weld will know. Or we'll see what fella says, because at the end of the day, it's down to him. If he's not worried about keeping the original horrible big floppy wavy gear lever, but we just make a remote to work these two. It'll take a bit of figuring, because obviously got to work out angles for dangles. And
Yeah.
I'm quite chuffed with that. I was half and half to whether that was going to even run or work, but it appears to work. So maybe I'm not as much of an idiot as I think I am.
No, you're switched on.
Yeah, about as switched on as a damp digestive biscuit. But anyway, there we go. And the clutch-wise is easy because that's got a hydraulic clutch.
Okay.
So this is obviously that's external slave. So the thing we will have to make sure we work out is that this is concentric internal. We're going to have to plumb it up and then just work out the literage, the displacements, so that you don't stamp on the clutch on that and then find you've popped all the seals out of that.
Yeah.
But I think that's relatively easy to work out. I mean, even to the state that we could change the slave for a Mercedes one and a modern Mercedes one, so we then wouldn't have to worry about it. But we can do it by CCs, by filling it, pushing it, see what comes out of it, and try it with a throw a clutch. I think it'll all come together. And then just use the Mercedes, because these run a rubber flexible to the truck mount and then onto a steel. So we'd have to convert that to the mount and the steel hose coming in, which we've got, because we've got to move the clutch pipe anyway, because it rubs against that turbocharger.
Oh, yes.
That was one thing we had to do, because the turbo is about that far off of the cab drop mount, which is fine. We'll have to put a heat shield on it, which the original trucks had anyway. Should give us, it's about that. But at the moment, there is a brake line, there is a clutch line right where you want to put it. So we've got to re-engineer it anyway. I think that'll work. Allows us to keep the original fuel hoses. We'll have to have the tank is direct pickup. There's no pump. So it's pickup, so we should basically be able to plumb it straight in the T1 tank.
And it'll suck it through.
And if we decide that we're changing the back axle, then we lose the T1 prop shaft. And between ours massive collection of about 3,000 Sprinter prop shafts, I reckon we can make
Sprinterage.
We can make a Sprinterage, bigger shaft, take the horsepower. Not that mean you're going to break that one, but
That's pretty.
it might be worth considering. So the next thing I'm going to do is
thin,
take
that
that.
one, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's old school engineering, isn't it?
It's not made of chocolate.
It's not made of chocolate, and obviously that would then give you the complete Sprinter driveline. So we're going to get waving a tape, axle width, track, because we can always move the perches. We did it, it's before your time, but we did it for the Dodge, where we cut them off the pickup and moved them around, welded them back on. It's on leaf springs.
Okay.
So then run it on the correct axle ratio for this, and I think the thing will really move. It'll be basically a 2005 Sprinter in disguise.
Yes.
So it'll be 100 mile an hour 313. Not that you want to propel.
I wouldn't want to do
No, but matey, I mean, he's due tomorrow. He doesn't want to be doing, but what he wants to be able to do is do 65 on a motorway.
Drive it normally.
And then go up a hill at more than 20. And I think we're there. It's just the gearbox change. I was trying to stick old school, but I don't think that's going to go around a dual mass. And if we put a single mass in, we might end up with a load of exciting driveline slap, like you do.
Yeah.
Which that had really badly before. I think we're well on it. On it like a Gainlander bonnet.
Yeah. Well done, Al.
Well, yeah, right. Anyway, let's go and beat more bits off the vehicles. Makes a good tea stand.
Does.
Right, so 611, Sprinter engine, independent CDI. We have decided now, we've had the man in this morning, Paul, lovely fella.
Yeah.
Said, do you mind if we change our original plan of getting rid of and lose your big waggly stick? Go for this. Obviously, you've seen the Iveco remote lever. We'll make that work on this. He's like, yeah, no, I'm quite happy with that. So, this needs to go in there in a minute, but we've had some problems, haven't we?
Yes.
So last night, obviously, we're throwing power steering at this, and the kit we bought to do the power steering includes a big box, and also you need a different steering shaft because it's shorter on a power steering wagon than it is on a non-power steering wagon. And then we discovered this exciting bodge, didn't we?
Yes.
So on top of here normally, I'll come over here, put my glasses on for top quality seriousness. So is a really fine thread and a fine thread nut. Now the previous people decided that they didn't need that, they must have thrown that somewhere. So what they did was char somehow a coarse thread, wrong size nut on the end till it mullered the end of it there. You see that? Good thread, not so good thread. And then there's no thread left in there at all because this doesn't really screw on here. And then, because then it wouldn't do up at all, we put a bit of chopped off plumbing fitting on the bottom, like that, brass. Screwed this on, and then the steering wheel was holding on cope and something.
Yeah.
So luckily enough, this, rubbish, don't need that anymore. That's very dangerous because if you'd braked and eaved on the steering wheel, you'd have broke your nose because you'd have ended up wearing the steering wheel and also then had no control over the vehicle and crashed into stuff. So luckily enough, that didn't happen to him. So we've got a good steering shaft with the right bits on it. That'll be fine. Mm-hmm. So then yesterday, because we've moved the engine mounts forwards on one of these, there are some reinforcement plates that come for the original mounts that reinforce the outers of the chassis leg with some tubes between them to stop it crushing and going ptha. So we've got to extend those, so we decided to scrape it off yesterday when...
Found filler.
So what you need when you're repairing your front chassis legs that have got holes in the bottom of them is to put filler in them, because that is just, I mean, quality repair. So we're going to have to deal with that, but that's fine because we were going to have to deal with that anyway. And then we decided to have a poke at the cross member behind, didn't we?
Yes. Guess what we found?
Filler.
So
we had a discussion with fella this morning and said, and he was like, oh, I said, yes, the bodgers have been here. So, but luckily enough, I mean, you wouldn't know because they put a lot of seam seal over it, haven't they?
They did.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
did.
I mean, it looks all right.
They chopped it on with a yard brush.
Yes, the rest of it is perfect. So we're going to sort that. Mm-hmm. We'll have to take the interior out so it doesn't catch a fire.
Yeah.
And then we've got to weld the cross member up, which is standard T1, repair the front chassis legs and put some big reinforcement plates in. And then, as we are now going for this here Sprinter gearbox, there was a bit of a worry on axle ratios. I mean, the original axle in this is designed for 70 horsepower. Mm-hmm. That's 130s and a lot of the torques.
Yes.
So we thought, we've had a measure up this morning, using one of them tape measure things, and the Sprinter axle out of the vehicle that this is donated from, which is lovely and doesn't howl, single rear wheeler, is about the right width. It has disc brakes. Mm-hmm. It's the right ratio for this gearbox. It has the right prop mounts. We may even get lucky in being able to make a prop without having to make a prop. If that makes any sense. We might even get away without having to cut one.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So we said to fella, look, I'm going to throw the back axle away, put the Sprinter one in. The only possibility of trouble we may have is where the 14-inch wheels will clear the calipers. The calipers are quite small. It wouldn't happen on the front wheels of a Sprinter because they're quite big.
Yeah.
But I might go on the back because the stud pattern's the same. We just have to look at offsets and stuff to be fine. Yeah. So then that gives this a complete Sprinter rig, and then all I've got to make is a Mercedes T1 electronic dash. That'd be easy. Because obviously I lose my mechanical speedo feed, but I gain an electronic speedo feed, which is in the dashboard that I've now moved. So I need to make that section of the dashboard run the clock in there so that we're going at the right speed. And then I'm going to see if I can find a small round electronic pulse rev counter to plumbing so that it looks like a fuel gauge size, so I can run a rev. Then it'll have a rev and a thingy, and then just work the lights in. That's fine. I can make that work.
Lovely.
So we're not doing that today. What we are going to do, Fudgy is almost transit finished welding wise, so we'll show them that in a minute.
Yep.
And then everyone seems to want me to raffle a Citroen ZX instead of, I'm not allowed to chop it up because it's too nice.
Yeah.
Everyone's tried to buy it, which is fine, but then it's 5-10 people trying to buy it, and it's all getting quite confusing. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and get the Citroen ZX out in a minute, and then we'll take some proper photographs of it for once.
Mm-hmm.
And the competition, this is how it works. Citroen ZX. So I've just applied for a logbook. Hopefully that'll be here within the month the competition arrives. Can't see a problem.
Mm-hmm.
MOT.
Yep.
Don't need servicing or touching because it's all mint.
Yep.
And we're going to buy you a Festival of the Unexceptional car pass for your ZX. And then you can come and join us idiots in July or whenever it is at the Festival of the Unexceptional at Grimsthorpe House. You can sort of come and join the crew because I think the 309 is arriving. They're there.
Yep.
We're Hiluxing. We're going to take Rolling Thunder. Madam's intent on that. She said, I'm not going in a Trabant or that stupid Italian thing that you bought. So we're going to get Simon involved as well because he'll want to come. Mm-hmm. So Simon could have probably the Hedge Peugeot again. Now it's sort of fixed itself. And there will be a few of us, so we're going to have like a 6D row. You can be part of that. And then I'm going to go and take a BMW engine out. Oh, and all the bits have turned up. Shall I show you what I've done? Let me go round here. And I haven't dropped me tea.
Oh.
Dump, 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 da.
Oh, and it's back together.
Yes, I haven't lost anything or anything. And as far as I know, I think she functions. So basically the pickup pump in the front had seized solid. So we've unseized that, new seals and new screws, new input shaft seal.
Yep.
Control head has all been stripped, new seals.
Mm-hmm.
Control head to pump seal.
Yep.
Seal for spill controller. The timing advance on the bottom has been stripped, cleaned and now functions, new seals.
Okay.
And then the bottom, there's a solenoid in here that controls it all, new seals on the top, new washers, new everything.
Ooh.
Bob open, no open. I reckon that will work. So the weekend will most likely be Hiluxing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as long as the cam belt kit turns up with the water pump today. It says it is. I've got an exhaust. I've even got an exhaust over there for Rolling Thunder. Save that annoying farty noise from under the front where it's got a hole in it. And me bash bar is arriving next week. And then I've got to try and fix Rolling Thunder after the insurance company have approved the repairs. Because apparently if someone wallers into you 2 weeks ago, ruins your car, and then you go to your insurance company and go, right, can you, like, transport's ruined. They do nothing, mm-hmm. and then say, oh, well, can you give us a quote on fixing your truck? Right, so your customer's ruined my vehicle. Now
you got to fix it.
Now I've got to quote you on fixing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm a garage and I pay a fortune for my insurance. Yeah, I didn't get no loan vehicle. No one asked me anything. And now I've got to send you a load of photographs and approve repairing my own vehicle, because apparently sending out an insurance assessor, that's too much hassle.
It's too much work.
Too much work. Yeah, I was a bit cross. I think the words were used of
toilet roll holder.
Do you want me to hold your bog paper and wipe your ass at the same time, or do you actually fancy doing something for the £4,800 you demanded this year? I was a tad
chewy.
As this is also not my fault.
No, you're the victim in this.
Well, yeah, I don't really feel a victim. I mean, some lady drove into me, but technically, yes. Yes, it would be nice if someone just did that bit of work, the work that we paid them for.
So the moral of the story is:
don't bother insuring anything.
No, don't bother being the victim. Be the guy who actually crashes into the vehicle.
Well, I mean, she was a nice lady. So when her car's gone off to be repaired, and they've given her a loan vehicle. Mine's all smashed to pieces. Doesn't really work very well. I've got no loan vehicle. No one's bothered even asking me. I had to go, well, liability-wise, like, obviously, because it was her fault. Are we claiming on? Well, I don't know.
Maybe if you'd have thrown in the whiplash card, that might
yeah, we
help.
tried suing for,
That might help.
post-traumatic stress and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Fuck.
So, I'm going to go and fire the Citroen up, and then we'll take some photographs of the Citroen, explain it again, put the Citroen on raffle. Yeah. And then take the... Shall we explain the BMW V8 Monster idea? It's an update. Let's go over it.
Yeah.
I've already drunk my tea, no point taking that with me.
Yeah.
So, you join us underneath a 645 CI on a set of hetero lorry lifts.
Yeah.
It's working quite well. So, what we're going to do now is we're changing. Here has arrived a new 645 4.4 litre V8. The same as the one that's here. Nicer wiring harness, less miles. I mean, this has only done 100. That has done 60 something.
Yeah.
So getting that out of here is a bit of an arse. So, what you've got to do, M539 Restorations, done some watching on him, but I was subscribed anyway. I need to lose this complete exhaust rig out the back out there.
Yeah.
Then I need to remove all the heat shields behind the gearbox so I can remove the prop shaft.
Yep.
Yep. Then I've got to reposition my lifts. I'm going to have to bring them back here on out somehow. Well, we'll figure that. You
Yeah.
have to shunt them that way. Put something to hold the... That'll be fine. We can work that out. And then basically remove the wheels on the front. Drop the front top suspension mounts and the brake feeds.
Yeah.
Drop this entire subframe. Go out of here with the gearbox attached to. So sit it on big wheelie bench once it's free.
Yeah.
Lift car away from. Admittedly, then we don't have to remove the nose. The rad
Yeah.
pack can stay there, I think.
Okay.
Then basically wheel it out, swap it for that one with all the gearbox harnesses and everything, which are on this one. None of that was cut, which was very good.
Lovely.
And then
Throw it back in.
throw it back in. We've got 20 days. So we're going to have to get on that. Because in that 20 days, we also need to MOT it, polish it, service it, check it through, and find that bit of trim that's missing on the light up this side, because it's broken.
Yes.
I have found that. I will remember to order it in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go and just show them the top quality repair work that someone had done using body filler on the T1, and then I'm going Citroen in.
Citroen.
Citroen. I haven't been told off too badly for Citroen in.
No, it is a Citroen.
That is a Citroen.
It's Citroen.
Citroen. And it is got, I think it has
It's
got remote
Citroen.
Citroen. So we just popped down here just to show you the T1 stuff. So you can see where we were extending these chassis plates here, and you'll see there that what they've done is a little bit, it's very thin at the bottom there. It was covered that in body filler. And exactly the same that side. That was all body filler, so we've got to repair on this. And then we look at this cross member back here. There, which is absolutely, I wonder if I can swap you sides. Oop! Absolutely smarmed in seam sealer. Look, all the way across. Now there's a reason for that. They've done that. Because if you stick your finger in here, there should be a bit of tin. No, that there is half a ton of filler in there. And then we've got some more seam sealer and filler in here, which means that this does not have a bottom. So we've got to remove all of these gearbox clutch fittings anyway, so we're going to strip this off, find out what is here. But obviously directly above this, if I lean back now, it's a cab floor with obviously that gear tunnel planted. He's not quite in the correct gear lever planted, but it's carpeted, as you'll see, and it's got some seats on it. So the likelihood of welding on that and this catching fire is quite high. So we don't obviously want that to happen. So we're going to take that seat box, and all of this carpeting out so that we minimise the risk of and then we've got a problem. So that sort, this sort, because it's all, I mean, you can hear it and there's some rust in here, and then we need to check the bottom, and we're going to put, you'll see the original engine mount is there, look, with the reinforcers. We need to bring that, we'll leave there, but we need to bring another one here. We're using that hole but obviously there's a tube and 2 of these plates either side to stop this crushing, make it stronger, so we need to bring that down around here, but we're going to have to fix all of this first. And then all of that back there needs to get thrown out as well. But anyway, that's another episode. That's another time. Oh, right, so you join us in the wild, rolling, high-speed stallion. That is a Citroen ZX non-turbo diesel automatic. We have figured out, and we fixed it, that it has got central locking. I wondered why it had an IR receiver. So it wasn't a torch on the key, it was a radio remote. So after soldering all the connections up on it and putting some new batteries in it, we have remote central locking. Hark at the poshness. Gotta put the seat belts on so the seatbelt police don't get on me. So basically, you could win this top quality vehicle. So, one owner from 1995 to 02/2024. It is currently 2. It will be 3 by the time the logbook comes back to me. It comes with 12 months MOT and a damn good check over. It is lazy man's automatic, and I might even get all excited and fix the light for A on the auto box. As you can see, it drives really rather well. But it's not going to win any races. We shall demonstrate this in a minute. I mean, it's not hideously slow, but it definitely ain't no racing car. But everything works. Where's the rear heated screen? Where did you put that, Citroen? I haven't got headlight washers. Rear heated screen, there she is on. So this will stay working forever, unlike that horrible thing in front, which won't work for more than about 2.5 years and will die. It's not a Mini, it's a nasty BMW object. So I'm going to go creeping out of the village, abiding by the speed limit. Come on. Being out poked by a Mini. One of the Minis speeding, I suppose, might be the reason. It changes smoothly. When the interior is in good nick, there's a little bit of wear on the steering wheel, but it has done 116,000 miles. So the central locking is alive and functioning. The electric windows function. It drives nicely in a straight line. It drives nicely around corners. I mean, to be honest, I hit the roundabout flat out the other day and it didn't fall over. We will have acquired the code for the Tommy 2 knob Citroen stereo by the time you get it, because I haven't got any service history. That has gone walkies in the great and wonderful Silver Lakes. So, but we will check it over, make sure it is right, and do the little tiny bit of welding needed for the MOT fail. And it said the brake pads were wearing thin, so we'll probably want a set of those as well. But everything works as it should. And the heater is marvellous. It's roosting in here. Right, inject power. Yeah, that sort of worked. It's perfectly capable of modern motorway speeds. I mean, that is 60. We are doing 60. We could go faster, but we're obviously not. So, nice car. It ain't rusty. It has got a couple of marks. It's got some character. And it will be checked over and prepped. So basically, we're going to go for the standard £7.50. And what we will do for that £7.50 is we'll chuck in a Festival of the Unexceptional car pass. We'll buy you one in a minute because they're not out yet. And then you can come to Grimsthorpe House if you want. You don't have to. You could just take the Citroen and come and spend the day with us and have a bit of a laugh. There should be quite a good crew, as we said earlier, from the D's this year. Stops in a straight line and everything. Rattle free. No squeaky. I've fixed the door that was a little bit bent out using brute force and brilliance. And even the rear heated windscreen works. Do we have rear wash wipes? Yes, we do. Look at that. The height of 1995 Citroen-based sophistication. So it has central locking. Doesn't have a lecky mirrors, but it has got the one with the wiggly thing on this side. And it has got a lecky mirror that side. So it's half a lecky mirrors. It's got electric front windows. It now has working central locking. It might have ABS. It's definitely got power steerings. It'll have a full tank of diesel when you get it, because that's what we do with every single one that goes. And it is not a bad old car. So what we're going to do now is we'll go and have a proper cruise around the outside of it, so you can appreciate. And I will have slightly shallowed the dent in the driver's door by the time you get it. God, that heat is too hot. It's melting my face. This is what you get. So notice twin electrics for the towing experiences. Few minor battle scars. I will scrape the numbers off the thing and we'll dry it out. It's not damp inside, but it has obviously been sat around forever. So she's pretty clean. 1.9 diesel, automatic, full set of zip tied on wheel trims. Electric tilt slide sunroof. Single wiper in a very Citroen type of way. Sticky up radio aerial to howl in the breeze. There is a shallow dent in this door. But inside, obviously, and quite a bit of lack appeal down there, but you can live with that. It's character. Clean as a whistle. On the button, so 116,000, may have gone up a little bit by the time. Even has a red light that comes on in the middle of the steering wheel. Look at that. Original Tommy 2 knob, auto-squatic, nice clean seats. Clean as a whistle in the back. Has the roof bars for strapping things to. Clean as a whistle in the boot. No dogs, fold down seats for those tip runs. And the load cover of poshness to hide all your valuables under so no one knows they're there. Obviously we've mentioned the tow bar. So the central locking is functioning perfectly. We will tidy it up a wee bit and try and shallow this dent because this window only goes halfway down, but we do have, oh, hang on, he said, press the right button. We do have electric front windows. Look at that, D. Obviously functional inertia reel seat belts. We are in the 90s. Right, so you know exactly what you're getting. You're getting an old Citroen, but quite a nice old Citroen. I mean, she does run an absolute peach. Oh, good old David. Right, so we're going to jolly back to the workshop. We will get this all sorted. I am currently obviously wazzing around onto trade plates, so we'll get it a new test. We'll give it a damn good check over. We'll buy a ticket for the Festival of the Unexceptional. You get to keep the Citroen, you don't have to give it back, all right? And if you want to, it's a Grimsthorpe house. You can come and spend the day with us as part of the crew. And if you don't, you just get a Citroen. Obviously, UK delivery as standard. And we'll make sure it's full of fuel. It's quite pleasant, this. Right, so we have shown them the Citroen idea.
Yes.
We have been out for a test drive.
All good?
Yeah, all good. Zunk.
Junk.
Yeah, honestly, got all the doors. Zunk, tailgate the lot. Oh, so nice. Soldering that up worked.
Oh, excellent.
So Fudge has finished welding on the Transit Marathon, haven't you?
Yes.
You saw this side the other day. That is all done. And we will quickly take you around there in a minute and show you the other side. So next is, as we think we've said before, under sealing to death, wings on. Got to paint the inside the wings as well as the out, because loads of people don't do that, and then the wing rots out twice as fast.
I think we should paint the wings off.
Yeah, we'll paint. We'll hang them up, paint them off, blow them white, clamp them on the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's going to be like a few shades of white. We'll polish it. It'll be fine.
It'll be all right.
Blow that bit in. Blow that bit in, and then reassemble the plastic front.
Yep.
We gave that everything was fine. It wasn't damaged, and then I have replaced the ignition barrel.
You have?
So, or the ignition module on the back, so you don't have to hold the key down anymore to make it work.
I think that would have been a bit of a pain in the arse.
That was, well, it didn't come like that. It developed that here, but the one that I took out was scrapyard anyway, so it's got a new one, starts on the button. So we're going to go round here, have a quick look, a bit of welding, and I reckon that'll do us for the day.
Okay.
So you can point the bits that you've replaced on the outside.
So outer,
Yeah.
inner,
Inner. Up. We didn't have to do the cab corners on this. They were all right, weren't they? So we run to the back corner of the cab down there, because the cab corner was actually on it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So that was all on there. So it's basically outer seal, inner
If
seal.
I swing round here for like a...
Swingy.
So you finally managed to get the lines to line up after lots of battering.
The other side was all right. This side was a pain in the backside.
Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
I'm just shortening the legs quietly on my tripod because he's banging on the floor. Yeah, I'm gonna... doesn't work quite as well. Let me just do that.
But yeah, this wheel arch didn't line up as well as the other side.
No, well, it is a FOD.
It is a Ford. And
Well, that was
panel.
just China.
So I've had to flexy bendy
BT.
get it somewhere,
But these inner panels came from Central. They are cracking.
These are really good.
Those are really good. These were really Van Parts UK, I think.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're not bad.
I'm not slagging them off.
No, tin quality's good, but they're not quite as good as the Central Panels ones because he does pick them really carefully.
Yeah.
So do you want to show them the amount of stuff that you've wedged in on the inside?
It's okay. Complete step.
Yeah, because that was rotten at the back as well, wasn't it?
Yep, that's all been done.
Rebuilt the bottom corner of that inner wing and the inner structure.
Inner structure, and underneath, which you can't see, which is a bit of a pain in the ass to get to, is also been rebuilt because that was
rusty,
barred.
had gone.
I had to remake this section here because that had obviously rusted away from there, likewise in the corner. Apart from that, everything else was tickety-boo.
Let's go for a close-up, shall we? So basically, in there, new step.
Yeah.
New inner structure, new section there, new wheel arch, new inner wheel arch, new outer sill, new inner sill, and then you'll see it joined. The back cab corner for once was good. So basically, slam that door, Fudgy. What we need to do is exactly the same. So we've got a little tiny bit of rust curing to go there.
Yep.
And then seal that to death. Paint it frozen white. Brr, yeah. Brr. More tea finding.
Yes.
So, you've seen the Citroen. Don't forget the BMW. So next week, well this week, it's Wednesday, isn't it?
It's Wednesday, yes.
It's Wednesday, so tomorrow I am going hell for leather.
You're going for it, right?
I'm going for it. So sat here is the nice 60 plus, that's 60 and a bit thousand mile. That's a 4.4 litre out of this exact year model car, right engine code. Warranted, lovely. So we're putting that in there, as we showed you earlier. What we're going to do earlier. All the bits for the Hilux have turned up this afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, because I had this to turn up because I nearly phoned them and they did this to me last time. So this is my exhaust section for Thunder.
Yeah.
This turned up yesterday with DPD.
Okay.
I was going to ask the DPD man whether he had two parcels, and I thought, no, I've had this before, because I phoned me and has gone, you've only sent me one thing, and they're like, no, the other one's coming later. So I trusted in them, and they delivered. They're really good. If you ever need Japanese four-wheel drive parts, www.milnerfourwheeldrive.co.uk. I might even get all excited and chuck a link in. They're brilliant. They do Pajero bits, Shogun bits, Isuzu bits. I've used them for years, and they ship stuff all over the world because they saved my arse in the south of France when my clutch fell out. Good old Harriet, but it was back in the day, and when my clutch went walkies, we couldn't find it. I had a vehicle on the side of the road, no gearbox in it. They were fab. They sorted it all. So they come highly recommended, and some of that stuff, it ain't expensive.
And whereabouts are they based?
Derbyshire, I think.
Derbyshire?
Hang on, I'll tell you. It's written on this piece of paper. No, it isn't written on this piece of paper. So I think this entire set of stuff, so there's a cam belt, a water pump, both tensioners, idlers, diesel filter, oil filter, air filter, oil, and that complete front exhaust section for a Mark III, that's all for the Mark IV, was 189 quid delivered to the door.
That's not bad at all, is it?
No, to be honest, I can't buy the oil off the motor parts people. They do I think the service kit came in together at less than 45 quid. You can't buy all the bits, the oils and the stuff for it. So you've got big round air filter. And I mean, most of their stuff they source and buy. It's got a Toyo something cam belt, but I've never had an issue with any of the quality of any of their parts. So I completely forgot to order a fuel primer because I'm a numpty. So I'm going to go back on there this evening and order myself a fuel primer. And then Saturday, well, obviously this will have fell out.
Yes.
But I'm hopefully, if everything goes well, I'm going to put the fuel pump back on the big blue Hilux that we've just acquired. And if my fuel pump repair is as good as I'm confident it is,
it will be.
I think, to be honest, we found the problem. I think she'll crack off. So you'll get to see the Hilux on Saturday if we should have got there by then, otherwise. And then we've got a dose of work. So coming next week.
Next week.
Obviously, we've got to paint that. We're going to have to juggle around with that.
Yeah.
We've got a bent Ranger that we didn't expect.
Yeah.
Because Martin had a bit of a nick up with a gate post and the front of his truck fell off. So we have sourced the parts for it's a Ranger Limited. I don't think it's badly damaged. I think it is only a wing and a bumper. We've got a wing and a bumper.
Yeah.
So we've got to pull that down, haven't we?
Yes.
Because Scott will be back by the end of next week because he doesn't want to have to drive backwards and forwards. He's going down to Devon in a Mark 8 Transit. He's going to make the boys do that. That's what being the governor's all about. So we quite like his comfy pickup truck that he restyled back. Monkey, so the owner of Trigger, also owns a 7.5 ton DAF LF that me and Dom rebuilt 6 years ago, I think. He bought it off one of the local groundworks companies and it was a bit hanging. But a known history truck. It's got the little, I think they're Tectors, and they Tector in, or Packard 4-cylinder turbo in it. It's a 7.5 ton tipper with an alley body on it. The alley body was cracked in every which direction you could think of. So we had that done over by a mate of mine called Peter King, who's brilliant aluminium welder. I decided that give that to him.
Yes.
And then I had to argue with him on price because he didn't charge me enough money. Honestly, I was like, Pete, you can't do it for that. No, that's what it took. No, that's not enough. So I had to go and talk to his missus to find out how much time he'd spent on it and then work out what that I needed to pay him more money and then stand there and give him till he took it. Appreciate these people. Use them, pay them right, they're always there against. Pete does all that aluminium, all the foam, and he made these, even though I ruined them by having to cut them up because I measured them wrong. He's really capable fella. So that has got cab gout again. It's done daft things.
Oh.
We did it once before in a different place, but it would appear it's due a ministry on about the 18th. The passenger step does not appear to be attached to the cab anymore.
Oh.
Kick it, and so I'm assuming that the mount has fell off. Okay. And then like where the drop swoop steps gone, the bottoms fell out of it.
Okay.
And on the other side, you can poke your finger through where the door shuts. And the ministry test people won't like that.
Okay.
But I did the cab rails the other year, so it's the outers this time. So we're going to prime the Transit, and I think what we're going to have to do for timescale wise is Transit will have to go out, DAF will have to come in, and then we'll paint the bits for the Transit, or whatever. We'll get there. I'm going to do this. T1, we're going to have to cut some sections out, aren't we, and get welding before we can put an engine in.
Yeah.
So we said to matey, we said, look, a month and a half, 2 months, and the T1 is time to go. That gives him ample time to, we've got to shut the engine, get it running, get it in, get him test driving it so he's happy with it. And then I think he wanted a big bike rack built for the back of it, but we said, let's do that once it's alive and mobile. And then if there's a bit of snagging and stuff like that, we can do that.
Push bike or motorcycle?
I think he wants to move a motorcycle on the back. I've got steel for it.
Okay.
When it's got a big frame coming out the back, we just need to make sure that it's capable of taking the weight on the back. We need to make this work. And then after that, I'm having a nightmare trying to find a crash damaged Citroen. What is it? It's a dispatch.
Dispatch, yeah.
Well, there's a bloke locally got one, but he doesn't like replying to you. You know when you send people, is this still for sale? Yes. Oh, brilliant, Mobs. Can I come and pick it up?
He's been abducted by aliens.
He had. Well, he can, and I sent him. I did the bit annoying bit. Next day when you're like, I'm going to try again. So sent him another message going, any chance? Oh yeah. Well, yeah. No. It belongs to my uncle, and I'll have to ask him. Right. Any chance? Because obviously you've advertised it. You could. I'll go and ask him. Right. Yeah. Yeah. He lives next door. Marvellous. That make it even easier. I'm gonna. Yeah, no, it's still for sale. Right, marvellous. Someone's stolen a wheel off it. I can deal with that. I can bring a wheel. I don't, well, it might not start. I don't need it to start. Winch, lorry, I want front. But I want the whole van. I don't want to just come and take, so not confused. I don't want to come take the front, but I'll take it off anyway. Marvellous. I'll go and get his address off of him.
You're next door, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I thought. But anyway, so I'll go and get you his address. I'll send you a message.
And that's the last we've heard of him.
No. So then we set Claire on him.
Okay. Oh, so he's answered to Claire then?
But he told Claire exactly the same, and then Claire was like, "Is it?" Oh no, because he did come back for that, and he said, "Well, how much do you want to pay for it?" And I was like, "Well, it's advertised for this, so I'm quite happy to pay that, but obviously." So then Claire was like, "Well, I don't know. Well, let's say you go and talk to him then," and got exactly the same, and then it just went quiet. So we give up on that one. So then we tried to buy one in Blandford. The bloke spent 4 days not replying to me, and then sent me a message saying, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I sold it this morning."
Oh, that's nice.
So at the moment, we're slightly lacking in a white. I could really do Peugeot Boxster, Peugeot Expert, Citroen Dispatch, Fiat something. Yeah, I'll find one. I'm going to try again this evening. I can find loads of silver ones, but I don't really want a van with a whole silver front end on it. And Claire's getting a bit like, I need my van. I was like, I know you need your van, but just. So we're on that. We have to start the T5. We'll try and get that in this week. It's parked there. It belongs to that nice South African man. And it does sound very healthy. So I'm going to try and tear the top off of that in the next days of putting a Hilux back together and remove an engine out of this. You're going to go DAF welding.
I'm welding.
Parts are ordered for Neil's silver Mercedes. So I'll do that tomorrow morning because that should only be a hutcher, and then I need to get it out of rig test mode, recognise its ABS and its steering angle sensor, and it'll be perfectly happy. Then we have got to, it's a broken 66 plate Sprinter. We're going ECU coding.
Yes.
Scary stuff. So I've got 2 new ECUs matching numbers, so I've got 2 chances at it. Should be all right, because the man that was supposed to come and code it in, he hasn't turned up. He was coming yesterday.
He got abducted by aliens.
He got abducted. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of that around here. Yeah,
so much shit going on.
So I think I can do it, but I'm not sure if I need live access to Star, and then it'll all go to well. Yeah. So we ain't got a lot to do.
No, and then I've got that one to weld up.
So we need to get on with the camper van next. So I've the lorry in between the two, and we're going to get Claire's camper out, and I will just leave you alone and let you get on with that. I'm going to have got on with this, and then we'll get back to that in between the two. 3, 4, 5, 7,
6, 7,
10, 9, 18, 20. We've pushed the little auto Bashini outside for the minute and put a sheet over it because it is one of my projects. And then once that fan is done there,
it can come back in, can't it?
that can come, well no, with that we'll make that watertight, because obviously the next job is to paint it white, but we've got to put a load of panels on it. Yep. Furious Drivings 1, 2, 3, because we said we'd get to that February time, so that's fine, because he was in no rush for it. So everyone keeps going, you're never going to do that. Yes, I am. I have a timescale. I have a plan. It's all in here with the peas and the dust and the fluff rolling around. And the only other things we've got to do, we need to do Jazzy James's T4 flatbed, because he wants that back. He's changed his mind now, so we're just going to MOT the Doka, so that will be out of our air.
We've got the Vito.
We've got the Vito camper coming back in a minute. That needs to come in after that big bus is finished, because they want to go camping for the summer, because they called us off last year.
Yeah.
And to be honest, trying to fit it back in. So we've got to finish there. We promised by spring, end of springtime, early summer, to have given them back a rolling and driving van, which is fine. We've got the new one. We've got the roof cut off the other one. We need to combine the two. That's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Then we've got a Beetle to rebuild at some point, which we're not behind with, but we haven't videoed any of it because we've had some issues. Then we've got a Mark 1 Golf GTI to get on with. There's no killer timescale. I need to put the windscreen panel welded in my van after we tried sticking it in and it didn't work. Put the windscreen in, paint it white, put it all back together, because that won't take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We have a fleet of Daihatsu Tafts.
Yeah.
Or Daihatsu F-Series. They're Tafts and the rest of the world. They're all... Yeah.
Bloody hell. That's a lot.
There is more.
There is more.
There is more. What's out in the yard? Mother's convertible's got to come in, because summertime will soon be here. Got all the bits for that.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
We have a adaptation A190 to do.
Simon's.
We've got Simon's to finish. Yeah, no, we were we were trying to do it Christmas. Simon wasn't worried. We haven't abandoned it, but he doesn't actually need it at the moment. He's got another one running. So what we are going to do in a minute, I found a shot blaster. Sod that trying to shot blast it with one of them steam cleaner, Santi-based devices. Just makes you wet and miserable. Yeah. So we'll get out there, plasma the bits off, and Simon's going to run that in, have it shot blasted, primed, and come back here and be painted. Because basically the rest of the truck, via assembling the cab, is done. By putting the brake bags on and a load of wiring and
Little
tiddly bits, but it's out there, it's on the button. We haven't abandoned it, it's just timescales on stuff. And
what else?
well, we've got to get my recovery truck project. There's 2 recovery truck projects to do. Yeah. One of which will have to come in when the Furious Driving comes in, because it's sat on top of it.
Yeah.
So that's the white Sprinter we started last year, and then we didn't get distracted. We just ran out of time. So everything is here. It's dry. It's all welded up, isn't it? You did the windscreen repairs on it, remember? It's a little 313.
Yes.
Used to be my mate Cole's. Unbelievably, you buy something from London and it belonged to your mate that lived in Ringwood. Yeah. He made good living out of it for a few years. So I'm going to finish that, coat paint. That is going on raffle. That'll be our first recovery truck giveaway.
Okay, yeah.
And then what we're going to do, once we've cleared that thing there, is we're bringing my 515 in, and we are cutting it in half. Well, we need to put 5 foot in the middle of it. And then Fatty will finally die, take body off. We're going to have then a 5.5 ton recovery Mercedes 906 recovery truck. And then, to be honest, I will part with the green one with the alley body that we built, because I don't need 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, whatever, how many I've got around here. I might put a poster on. She won't be for sale. You know exactly what I'm going to do with it. So we'll have 2 competition raffle prizes at some point for some 3.5 ton recovery trucks. One little one, one slightly bigger one. And we'll just keep bumbling on as long as everyone's happy. This is the first time we've tried 2 cars in 1 month, but you asked for a Citroen. So Citroen, here it comes, and someone did ask us if we'd raffle off the speedboat that sat in my office.
Yes.
So we'll do that as well. We're not over raffling. You asked, same again. I did try selling it on eBay, and they were all a bunch of idiots. So so basically, it's there. We'll get that dug out, dusted off, and on. Anyway, that's far too much waffling. I'm going to find somewhere flat to put my tea, and then on we go, Mr. Fudge.
Yes, indeedy.
Thank you very much, people. Al, Fudge, 6D. We will catch you Sunday. Oh yeah. Please like, tag, subscribe, share, follow.
Tickets.
Buy tickets. Citroen, shiny BMW. 300 horsepower rear-wheel drive. Black leather. The wife would love it. Quiet country driving on a Sunday. What more could you want? Anyway, 6D diesels.